Hi and welcome, my name is Dave Donnelly. Welcome to our third in the video series. We in this section or this video are going to start now talking more about our investment thinking and process. In the previous two videos we initially looked at your life and what we need to look at various different parts of your life, and in the second video we started more focusing on the planning that you need to do. So in this video we want to give you a little bit more of the type of process that you need to follow in order to plan correctly for your life. And then we want to give you a little bit of an introduction to the course that we're going to be offering you in the next video, just to give you a bit of an outline as to what we offer in the course, to show you how we can actually help you through that course. So let's move on quickly now. What I want to talk to quickly, as we said in the last video, is this process here. We said that in essence your life can be summarized into three portions, if I can put it that way. Your income portion, your lifestyle expense portion, and your savings portion. And that what happens, or in essence that's the way your life evolves through your actual working part of your life. And then once you retire, your income falls away. Your savings are now at a size where you know that they can create sufficient income to be able to look after your lifestyle once you go into retirement. That's the whole principle of financial planning. So once we've been through that, we need to apply that to each stage of our life. In other words, how does that affect us in our years from 20 to 35? What do we need to plan? How do we need to plan from 35 to 55, or when we retire? How do we need to actually process a plan during that period of our lives? And then we have the conversion from earning from an income or employer situation to where your savings takes over and provides for you in your retirement. So let's just have a look at the process that we'll go through as far as your financial planning is concerned. Firstly, what we need to understand is currently where we stand, as we mentioned originally. And we kind of need to measure this for where we currently stand. We need to go through our budgeting, okay, our income and our expenses. And we need to have an idea of what our current assets are. And just underneath this video, you will see that there's a little icon, and you can download a little spreadsheet that I've prepared for you, where you can actually fill in your income, your expenses, and your current investable assets as well as your lifestyle assets. So you get a good overall view of where you stand. So use that little spreadsheet that I've given you. Hopefully it all makes sense, and work out where you currently stand. So in other words, looking at these three parcels of your financial life. How big is this? How much does this cost you every single month? What is your budget? How much is in your savings pot? How much, big question, are you saving every month? What portion of what you earn are you saving, and what portion of what you earn are you actually spending on lifestyle costs? That's vitally important to understand that. As I alluded to in the previous video, you probably need to save, if you're starting out at 25, you need to save about 14-15% of your gross earnings throughout your life to achieve financial independence. It's important that you're able to measure that. If you're now doing this measurement process and you're in your mid-40s, it's important to actually make that measurement and at least plan from now going into the future, so that you can correct wherever you need to and make sure you can still achieve your goals. So that's the budgets and assets and liabilities side that you need to get a handle on. Then you actually need to put that into a planning process, okay, and be able to ascertain from that saving every single month how much you are going to be able to accumulate to be able to create a pot that's big enough to provide for your lifestyle once you actually retire or become financially independent or achieve financial independence. What level of capital does that need to be for your circumstance? And everybody's circumstances are different. So don't ever compare yourself with the people next door or your friends or family. It's important that you plan for yourself. Everybody's different. Okay, there's no one size fits all in this process at all. It needs to be done for you and yourself and for your family. Okay, so you need to be able to then put all that information into a financial planning calculator, okay, which you will get in our education course. If you subscribe to our education course, we've developed a fantastic calculator there which we go through and we show you exactly how to use as part of the process, as part of your whole planning process. And it'll give you the answers and the results that you need to then process and make decisions from thereafter. So once you've done your initial planning, what you then need to do is you need to actually evaluate that plan. What is it telling me? What am I getting out of these results from this calculator that I need to now implement in my life to be able to achieve the goals I need to achieve, or that I want to achieve, to put me in a situation where at a certain point in my life I can then retire or know that I do not have to work anymore as I am now financially independent. Okay, that's normally the goal that we want to achieve, and in fact that's the whole purpose and the way the course is designed, to actually get you to a situation where you are financially independent and you don't have to work anymore. You can obviously carry on if you like, but it puts you in a situation where you don't have that stress or that worry anymore and don't have to actually continue working. So once you've evaluated the outcome of your financial planning, you then obviously need to look at what you currently have. In other words, what are your investments currently? What are they made up of? And what you need to do to those based on the planning that you've done to create a situation where you are headed in the right direction and creating the correct design of this pot of savings to be able to achieve that financial independence goal or milestone. So you then need to do whatever you need to do to those current investments, align them correctly, implement whatever changes you need to do, any additional investments you need to make, and then actually make sure you make those investments and you implement those. And then on an ongoing basis, make sure you maintain those and update your investments along the way so that you know that you keep focus and you know that you are always on track to achieve those goals. So that's vitally important. That in essence is the process. You need to go through then a budgeting process. You need to understand your current situation. You need to then do your planning, as I say. You need to then evaluate the outcomes from your planning. You need to make any changes to your current investments and implement any new investments. And then finally, you need to maintain your investments and your planning to achieve your goal. So that in essence is the process that we're going to follow throughout the whole process in the education program that we've put together for you. As far as implementing your investments are concerned, and this is really what I want to focus on for the next couple of minutes, is there's a couple of things and a couple of steps within implementing your investments that you need to be aware of. And we'll go much deeper into this when we go through the actual educational program if you subscribe to our educational program. You need to start making decisions like, how do you actually make your investments? Who do you actually invest with? Okay, what type of investments do you want? What are going to serve you best? What type of investments are going to serve you best? Do you use your pension fund? Do you use a retirement annuity? Do you use unit trusts? Do you have a share portfolio? Do you have ETFs or CFDs? All sorts of things that you need to understand and be able to get some sort of idea of, so you can actually then implement those correctly. So you've got lots of investment options, and then you need to know, how do you allocate these from an asset perspective? Do I invest in equities or shares? Do I invest in bonds? Do I invest in property? How much money do I hold in cash? All of those questions we need to start answering then as well as we develop your portfolio. And then finally, we need to obviously make those investments with an administrator that we trust and that we know is efficient and is going to give us the feedback and the statements and the information that we need to be able to help us and guide us and efficiently allow us to invest our portfolio. So that's the actual investment process that we need to follow. And we'll obviously elaborate on that in a far bigger way as we go through the course if you join us on our course. So those are the type of things that we're going to do and offer you in the course. And what I'd like to do now is just run through the course content so that you get an idea of what we're looking at here. Firstly, what we're going to do is we're going to go through just thinking. How do you think about your investments? How do we approach investing? What do we need to understand about ourselves and how we should be investing? Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to look at in the course material itself. Then secondly, we're going to go through lifestyle and budgeting, which I've actually chatted to you about here briefly. There's obviously a lot more to it, and we're going to take you step by step through that process. Then we need to obviously evaluate our assets and liabilities. We need to understand what we have and what we owe. Okay, vitally important. What is our net capital situation? Remember the first graph that we looked at when we looked at the first video? We plotted that graph of our net capital situation, our net wealth. We need to understand where we are and where we're going as far as that's concerned. Then we need to understand our risks. As we spoke about, if we've got debt, we need to be able to have some sort of risk cover in place. So we'll look much more deeply as to how we approach our risk situation in our life right the way through our lives. That's vitally important. Then from our assets and liabilities, we need to actually put our planning together, as I mentioned earlier. We need to go through the planning process, and that's quite a long process and quite a involved process, but we'll take you through step by step so you understand everything and you understand how we do these calculations and how we input the information into the calculator and read what the information is that it's giving us out so that we can correctly interpret what we need to do. Then we need to start making our investments. We need to start then applying the information we've got out of the calculator to actually make the investments we need to make. So we need to understand what sort of administrators we can use. What is an administrator? What do they do? What sort of purpose do they provide, or what service do they provide to us as investors? How do they help us? What sort of investment vehicles we need to use or we can use? In other words, the basket that holds the investments. Things like pension funds, provident funds, retirement annuities, endowment policies, unit trusts. We need to have a good general knowledge of what all those are and what they do. It's like the basket that actually holds the investments. Then we need to understand what investments we can put into these baskets. What rules and what legislation governs what we can do with what different types of investments we can make. So that's vitally important to know that as well. And then how do we make up these investments that we've put into these different investment vehicles? What is the best investment for each of us that's going to give us the opportunity to grow our savings to achieve our goals as we go along? What is the best thing for us? And then obviously we need to implement those investments. We need to actually make those investments so that they provide us with the growth that we're going to get over a period of time to achieve our goals. And then we need to understand and know how we actually maintain those investments, how we review our investment portfolios, how we review our planning, and how often we should do that. What changes in legislation may come along as we go through our lives that may affect the way we actually plan and the way we run our investment portfolios. So that gives you a little bit of an outline of what we're going to cover in the course that we're offering you. The course that we call Financial Independence Step by Step. And we really mean it. We've provided in such a way that it really is a step-by-step growth and knowledge as you go through the course. It's a set of 31 videos that are put onto a couple of DVDs so you can sit comfortably in your lounge and watch each DVD. And there's a workbook that comes with it that's got all sorts of information in there. As you go through each video, you'll get information that you need to fill in and that you need to consider in your financial planning process going through the course. So we've really kept it as user-friendly and as simple as possible to make life easy for you. The whole idea here is to really help you as much as we can and keep it in simple terms so that you can understand it. You don't have to be a financial genius at all. This course has been developed and designed around you who's not necessarily in the financial field or need to understand anything specific from a financial perspective. And then what we've also done is we've got a website where you can actually make your investments. And on the website we've kept everything in a step-by-step process as well. And you can get a lot of information off the website. If you decide to invest with us, we have a member zone that'll give you lots and lots of information that you potentially can use to create and design your portfolio as we go through the process. And we'll always keep new information coming through for you. So if there's any changes in economic situations, if there's changes in legislation, when we have interviews with the various different fund managers, you'll be able to watch little videos where we ask them questions that you can ask us to ask them. So we'll make it relevant to you, and you can go and sit and watch these little videos in the comfort of your home and be able to then make your decisions and be guided by everything we have. So once again, it's a process that we want to make easy for you. So as we go through, you'll see all the way through we've kept it as step-by-step and as logical as possible. Having the workbook, having the website. As a friend of mine said to me when I was chatting to her a little while back, she's a lady who's just been divorced or just got divorced. She's now in a situation where she's suddenly got to look after her own financial situation. No longer with a husband around, and she's really lost. She's sort of out at sea without a paddle, if I can put it that way. Or up the creek without a paddle, if I can put it that way. And she just said to me when I was chatting to her about the course, she said that is exactly what she needs. She needs something simple that can just indicate or show her exactly how and what she needs to do in a step-by-step process to be able to gain control of her financial life and know where she's going for the future. And that's exactly how we've designed the course, to help people like her and various other people at various different stages of their lives to be able to help themselves through their financial life and to be able to plan correctly and strategically to be able to achieve their financial goals. So that's fundamentally what we're all about, and that's exactly what we want to show you and share with you as we go through the course. So at the end of the day, what we want to do is to give you peace of mind. Okay? It's only uncertainty that creates anxiety. So as long as you stay in a situation where you don't know what the future looks like, you are going to be anxious about what the future holds for you. The whole idea here is to give you certainty, focus, and to have a goal and to know that you can achieve the goal because you're using a tried and tested methodology to be able to achieve that. So that's what we're going to share with you. That's what the whole course is all about. And in the next video I'm going to share a little bit more so that you get a better understanding of how we're going to go about that and so forth. So once again, if you found this useful and you want to share it with your friends, please do. We'd really appreciate that. There's a little share button at the top of the video, as we said previously. Share with it as many people as you can. The more people we can share with, the more we can spread the knowledge. And we really appreciate if you would do that for us. We look forward to seeing you in the next video, and all the very best.